Hey guys, it's Andrew again, and in this video we are going to be looking at number 31 from the math test inside of test 2 in your red book. So pause this video, flip to the math test in test 2, read question number 31, and once you've read the question, hit play. Alright my friends, so yet again, first thing that you're going to notice when you look at number 31, we're going to be using one of our code crackers for this question. We are going to be using our WPS, our word problem strategy for this question. It's a word problem, so we're going to be using our word problem strategy. Now, word problem strategy always starts with question number 1. What am I trying to find? And in this particular question, at the very end of the word problem, as always, it tells us that we're trying to find the sign of the mean of A and B. These two numbers, A and B, we want to find the sign of the mean. Now the sign, not like not the trigonometry sign, the sign as in, is the mean of A and B positive or is it negative? That's step 1. We want to find the sign of the mean. Step 2, what do we know? Well, here's the information excuse me, that the problem gives us. It tells us that this number A, it doesn't tell us what the number is, but it says that this number A is positive. It tells us that this number B is negative. And it wants to know what is the sign of the mean of A and B. So just a quick reminder of what the mean of two numbers is. The mean is also called the average. And to calculate the mean of two numbers, you add those two numbers together and you divide the sum by 2. And that's how you calculate the mean of two numbers. So what we want to know is, okay, if A is a positive number and B is a negative number, what is the sign of their mean? Well, I want to show you something that makes this just a little bit trickier. It doesn't tell us what number A or B is, so let's examine a couple of cases for ourselves. We know that A is positive, so let's say, just for fun, that A is equal to 1. And again, it doesn't tell us what number B is, but it tells us it's negative. So let's say that B is negative 2, okay? Now let's find what is the mean of A and B if A is 1 and B is negative 2. Well, it is 1 plus negative 2 over 2, which is the same thing as 1 plus negative 2 is negative 1 over 2. So if A is 1 and B is negative 2, their mean is negative 1/2. But let me show you something else here. Let's say, I'm going to draw a line here for a different example. Again, we don't know what number A is, but we know it's positive. So let's say that in this example, let's say that A is 2. We don't know what number B is, but we know it's negative. So let's pretend that B is negative 1. A is positive and B is negative. Now let's find the mean of A and B here. 2 plus negative 1 over 2. 2 plus negative 1 is 1. So this is equal to 1/2. So over here, check this out. We have A is positive, positive 1, and B is negative, negative 2. And when we find the mean of those two numbers, it's negative 1/2. Well, look over here now. Over here, A is positive, it's positive 2. B is negative, it's negative 1. And when we find the mean of those two numbers, we get positive 1/2. So here we have two different examples where this condition is true, A is positive and B is negative, but the mean has two different signs. So that means, I don't know, is the mean always negative? No, because there is an example where the mean is positive of those two numbers. So because in one of our calculations we got a negative number and in the other we got a positive number, the answer to this question is actually E. We cannot determine the sign of the mean based on the information that they gave us. So E is the correct answer.